here to check in for an appointment. Okay, I can help you with that, no problem. What is the last four of your trainer identification number? Thank you. Ah, there you are. It looks like this is a second visit for you. Let me just pull up your chart here. Okay, get your former information and appointment details. Ah, you were the one that brought in the Eevee previously and experienced an evolution. Right, well, that was quite the eventful chiropractic adjustment. So this should be a Flareon, if I'm not mistaken. Perfect. Well, I'm very happy to see the Flareon again, although not in the current circumstances, I'm sure. So what issues are you having with your Flareon since the evolution? Alright, so a bit of tension around that head and neck area. Okay. Alright, tension around head and neck. Is it worse with activity or kind of constant throughout the day? Okay, so worse with movement. Alright, that's common. And how long has this been going on? How long have you, since you first noticed symptoms? Okay. Alright, so not too long, but definitely don't want to wait any longer. And alright, and is there any other specific areas of the body in which you have noticed the pain or discomfort? Okay, so it's primarily on the left side, okay. Maybe in that left front shoulder and leg area. Alright, yeah, no problem, we can get that checked out, so I will just make a few notes of that. Alright, perfect. And is there anything else that you would like to have checked out, or just the chiropractic adjustment? Okay, so just a brief general exam. Okay, not a problem. I was going to suggest that, but I didn't want to pry too much. So, brief general examination, since we have had a somewhat recent evolution. Alright, well, let's go ahead and take your Pokeball. We can release your Flareon into the adjustment room and get started. Alright, right this way. Alright, so we have your Flareon here. A very beautiful Pokemon. You've taken excellent care of it. Congratulations, very well done. Sometimes we see trainers bring their Pokemon in and they look a little bit worse for wear, but you have done an excellent job. The ears are very well groomed. The fiery mane is excellent, has a great sheen to it. The fur is dense but smooth, which is great, and the flame-like tail is very full, which is a perfect sign of a healthy Flareon. The first thing that I'm going to do is actually just light a few aromatherapy candles. I feel like it helps keep your Flareon asleep and very relaxed. So if you can just give me a moment, I'm just going to light a few candles here. just make a few notes here. So we do have a very healthy mane, neck, ears, and fur is well groomed and indicative of quality health. So I'm going to make a note that all of the factors for a safe chiropractic adjustment have been met. And could you just sign right there? Yes. Thank you. I will just confirm. Perfect. The last thing that I'm going to do is just check the overall external temperature of your Flareon and just make sure that it's at a healthy temperature. So I'm just going to get a few readings from various heights. Good. That's good. Excellent. Good. Very good. Perfect. And as I suspected, very, very healthy. Okay, so the first chiropractic adjustment that I'm going to make are just some very subtle adjustments. We're going to start with the ears first and then work our way down to the head and neck. So you did explain that after the previous session with us and the subsequent evolution that your Flareon was experiencing just a bit of stiffness around that head and neck. Well, that can be very common with the Flareon since the kind of large nature of the mane is something that's a bit more weighty than the original Eevee. Sometimes it can just create a bit of tension on that neck, so we'll start with the ears here, and we're just going to do a few very subtle, very gentle adjustments. So we're just going to get it a bit loosened up, and then we're going to 1, 2, 3, and just like that, we're just going to palpate, 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 and another adjustment. 1, 2, 3, and ease it back into the neutral position, always ensuring that we palpate to just increase and maintain that relaxation, as well as kind of ease the muscles that we are placing just a bit of tension on. Alright, next ear, ever so gently, just loosen it up just a bit, and 3, 2, 1, and palpate, 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 and nice and gentle, 3, 2, 1, and palpate, palpate, palpate. Perfect. So now that should allow us just to ever so gently reach underneath the cranium here. So we're going to try to target these lateral areas of the neck. We're going to try to adjust those cervical vertebrae just ever so slightly to initiate that tension release. So we're going to start with just a few movements just to test. Yeah, I can see there's just a bit of tension on that side. So I'm just going to adjust in that direction towards and into the tension first. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and just like so. So we're just going to palpate just a bit, and once more into the tension ever so slightly. 3, 2, 1, and there we are. That's great. usually a lot of people think that it's actually the sound of the bone, but it's actually the sound within the joint, and it's gases built up in that space, in that joint area, that through that manipulation is creating that sound. So, once again, 3, 2, 1, and ease it back into the neutral position, and just a bit of palpation. So let's do a few side-to-side adjustments now, once again, remaining nice and easy. Alright, there we are. There's a bit of tension right there. 3, 2, 1, and nice and neutral. Get that mobility. We want to make sure that we always maintain that fluid mobility of that neck area. A stiff neck is just the absolute worst. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and excellent. Just a bit of mobility. That's great. Flareon, you are doing absolutely fantastic. Now let's go in that opposite direction. 3, 2, 1, and good. Good. Alright, once more. 3, 2, 1, and nice and gentle. That's good. Alright, so let me just palpate that area and make sure that it's responding well. That's good. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do now is I'm just going to do a few of our patented scapular adjustments. So I'm going to slide a supportive hand underneath that mane there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift slightly with the head there, and then press it down on the scapula. That's going to really help that shoulder to neck kind of transition area really start to loosen up, which can be sometimes the cause of that neck tension. So let's go ahead and begin. And these might be a bit more aggressive adjustments, so I'm just giving you a heads up. The pops might be quite loud. Alright, 3, 2, 1. And I know. Alright, but your Flareon is doing quite well. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And yes, those areas, due to the size of the scapula, as well as the delicate nature of the cervical vertebrae, it can just be an area that holds a lot of inflammation and tension, unfortunately, but these adjustments should help. Let's try one more. 3, 2, 1, and that should do it. Alright, let's test that mobility. Oh, that's much better. Look how much more mobility we have in that direction. That is great. Alright, so the last thing that could be also kind of feeding into that scapula inflammation are the legs here and the front shoulder. Of course, the front shoulder connects into the scapula and so forth, and connects there. So a lot of times with muscular tension, the areas that are inflamed are usually being impacted by muscles further along the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a hand gently under the paw here, and another very supportive hand on top of that scapula. I'm going to lift the leg and press on the scapula. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. And there we are. We will just ease that tension there. Once again. 3, 2, 1. And excellent. Perhaps one more. I'm just going to go a bit higher on that scapula there. There is a lot of tension. That left side is definitely the most problematic area, like you suggested. 3, 2, 1. And there we are. Good. Alright, I'm just going to check the back side there. base of the tail leading up into the spine sometimes can, if we do have quite a large plume here, it can press and put a lot of weight on the posterior side of the Flareon, which can then direct that tension downward, which can then lift the neck and cause that tension. So let's see if we can test that out. Alright, there is actually just a bit of tension there, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to take my arm and steady it against the body, and then we are just going to pull outward just ever so slightly on that tail. It might sound kind of painful, but it's just so subtle that your Flareon will not even notice. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and there we are. Perhaps one more. 3, 2, 1, and that seems better. The last thing that I'm going to try is just a bit of massage, just to stimulate some more blood flow into that mane, and even at the ends of the hair follicles, just a bit of movement can cause some of those healing properties to flow. So I'm just going to start slowly, just gently manipulating some of those follicles there, just to get some more additional blood flow to that neck area. It's something that I think will help not only speed up the healing process, but also help it recover from the adjustment. Of course, chiropractic adjustments, while they can be very beneficial and relieving, there is still movement and manipulation of the joints and muscles that can cause just a bit of acute soreness after an adjustment, so some additional blood flow might help alleviate some of that a bit quicker. So just by moving around some of those hair follicles, we can accomplish that quite easily. But as aggressive as chiropractic adjustments seem to be, as you can see, your Flareon is quite relaxed. So just a bit more. Let's move on to the head here. This should really help your Flareon feel really relaxed. It seems to be enjoying itself quite a bit. Alright, I think your Flareon, yes, should be feeling much, 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 much better. So we can go ahead and head back to the front and get you on your way with a healthy and rejuvenated Flareon. Let's head that way. Well, I do hope that your Flareon is feeling much better. Please give us a call. If not, one of our receptionists will be checking in with you shortly. But if not, if you don't hear back in a day or two, please give us a call and let us know if any of these symptoms have returned, or if there's any other issues that have arisen, or if just your Flareon's feeling better. We really enjoy some good news there. As much as we like to tree and work with Pokemon, we really enjoy a healthy Pokemon above all else. Alright, well, I will go ahead and schedule just a follow-up appointment just to get you on the books. Of course, if you don't need the appointment, just call, cancel ahead of time, but I want to go ahead and get a spot reserved for you, so let's do that. How about next month, maybe on the 12th? Alright. Is there a specific time that would work better for you? 11 a.m., okay. Not a problem. Looks like we have an opening right there. Okay. Well, it looks like I have you signed in. Like I said, please give me a call personally or check in with the reception desk and just let us know if there's anything else that we can do for you, or if there's any other problems that arise with your Flareon. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for visiting the Pokemon Chiropractor this evening, and we'll see you Hopefully, not too soon. Alright, take care.